In the opening of this romantic manhwa, we're introduced to our female lead, who's shown completing her work and heading back home. The scene shifts to her arriving at her house, where she opens the gate and steps inside. At the entrance, she notices two unfamiliar pairs of shoes, and her heart skips a beat. She's stunned because only she and her husband live in that house. The story then takes us deeper inside, where a soft pink glow spills from one of the rooms. You can probably guess what's happening inside just from that. Our female lead slowly approaches the room, drawn to the light. When she reaches the door, she cracks it open and peeks inside, only to be shocked by what she sees. Her husband is there, with another woman. To put it simply, her husband is cheating on her. The scene changes, and we see our female lead sitting somewhere, lost in thought. She murmurs to herself, "Was it that same dream again? A dream where my husband is dancing with some strange woman?" I use the word dancing here, but you know what I mean. She wonders if she dozed off for a bit, then pulls out her phone and says, "Lunchtime's almost over." Opening the door, she tells herself, "I should hurry back to work." As she steps inside, her boss calls out, "Miss Hae-soo, wait a moment." That's when we learn her name, Hae-soo, so from now on, I'll call her Hae-soo too. She responds, "Yes, boss, what is it?" Her boss says, "Let's talk inside." Inside, her boss hands her an envelope and says, "Here's the advance salary you asked for this month, 1.5 million won, right?" Hae-soo's boss continues, sounding a bit frustrated, "I was pretty upset because I had to pull this money together so quickly, and you even told me not to deposit it into your account." Then, with a chuckle, the boss adds, "But you work so hard, Hae-soo. I don't want to lose an employee like you. You're like family." Hae-soo bows slightly and says, "Thank you so much, boss." The boss then asks, "By the way, is your money problem still the same?" Hae-soo nods, "Yes, the interest rates these days are so high it's not easy to pay it all back." Her boss replies, "I heard your husband recently got a job?" Hae-soo confirms, "Yes, he's a trainee at that company, so it's tough for him to earn much right now, but he's working hard and things will get better soon." The boss, looking a bit disappointed, says, "I know you work tirelessly without rest, Hae-soo. Your husband should be working just as hard." From their conversation, we learn that Hae-soo and her husband are drowning in debt, and they're both working tirelessly to pay it off. Hae-soo, in particular, is pouring her heart into her work to clear the loans they owe. Now, back to the story. Hae-soo says, "All right, let's get back to work." The scene shifts, and we see her at a counter telling a customer, "That'll be 85,000 won." The man asks, "Can I use a card?" Hae-soo replies, "Yes, please place your card here." Then another customer calls from behind, "Auntie, bring 2 plates of meat quickly. They mentioned pork, but I'll just say meat." Hae-soo responds, "Yes, I'm bringing it right over." As she serves the meat, saying, "Here's the meat you ordered," we see a cute couple eating together, caring for each other. The girl says, "Why are you giving me all the food? You haven't eaten much." The boy replies, "Don't worry about me, I'll take care of myself. Just eat well, watching you eat fills me up." Hearing their sweet exchange, Hae-soo starts to think, couples in love look so beautiful. Whether it's first-class romance or something simpler, it's always lovely and their hearts shine as one. Maybe it's because today's youth are so beautiful, young people who have the courage to love with all their heart. But when that love hurts you, does it mean my quiet life, which has already reached its peak, is no longer beautiful? The scene shifts again, showing Hae-soo and her coworker getting ready to head home. Her coworker, frustrated, says, "Why do people keep calling me auntie? How can you let them call you that?" Hae-soo replies with a smile, "I'm a married woman and a housewife, so what's the big deal?" Her friend presses, "Aren't you upset when they call you auntie?" Then, grabbing Hae-soo's cheeks playfully, her friend says, "You're so beautiful, Hae-soo. You're a stunning 33-year-old woman. You wear the same clothes every day and don't use makeup, but you still shine so brightly in the daylight." They laugh together, teasing each other, before heading to their respective homes. As Hae-soo walks home, she thinks about her friend's words and says to herself, "When you said that, it makes me feel like you're even more beautiful. She's so kind, anyone could fall for her. All the young people in this world seem so beautiful and vibrant." Am I jealous because I don't feel beautiful? When she reaches home, we see her good-for-nothing husband sitting there with some liquor and beer. He looks at her and says, "Get ready and put on some makeup. Why do you go out looking like that without any effort?" "No wonder I don't want to come home." Hae-soo responds, "I can't afford makeup when I can barely afford our rent." Her husband snaps back, "Even part-time workers who earn less than you wear makeup all the time. You're just lazy, making excuses. You should put some effort in, it's what your husband likes." Hae-soo sits quietly for a moment, then thinks to herself, "Does love grow old with time? Our relationship feels like a broken boat, made of worn-out planks. A love that dried up faster than words could express. A love that faded long ago. Is it the years that drained me too? Is this what a life of hard work looks like? Working day and night to fill the holes in our bank account?" We then see her husband complain. The food isn't even good. But Hae-soo is lost in thought, wondering, is it you who makes me feel unbeautiful? Or is it me who lost my light by marrying you? The next day, Hae-soo is at a flower shop. Her friend, shocked by Hae-soo's schedule, says, "What is all this? You work at a butcher shop in the afternoon, a motel counter at night, and a flower shop in the morning. Are you even human, handling this kind of schedule?" Hae-soo calmly replies, "Relax, put on your apron, we need to open the shop." Her friend marvels, "Wow, you're still thinking about work." Then she asks, "Don't you know about MBTI?" Hae-soo nods, and her friend exclaims, "My gosh, this girl only thinks about work. What's wrong with her?" Hae-soo barely pays attention, her focus entirely on her tasks. She thinks to herself, "All I've done is work. Ever since I grew up, it's been nothing but work. I've never taken a break, except that one time when I was 24 and ended up in the hospital with a fever." We learn that Hae-soo's husband took out huge loans in her name. We see a flashback where he's on his knees, begging for forgiveness, saying, "I was just trying to make you happy, but it didn't work out." Hae-soo doesn't get angry. Instead, she asks, "How much?" Her husband looks at her, stunned, and asks, "What?" She repeats, "How much money did you borrow in my name?" He hesitates, then says, "Does this mean you forgive me?" Hae-soo, tears in her eyes, hugs him, but we're not told how much debt he saddled her with. The scene shifts back to the present. As Hae-soo arranges flowers, she reflects, "When I faced all that debt, I didn't feel sorrow or sadness. I felt calm, as if I could pay it off if I just worked a little harder. But then emotions would flood over me so fast that I often wanted to cry." Thinking of the past, when her husband held her, she says to herself, "I still have some debts to pay, but after that day your love lost its shine even faster than the light." Just then, a man enters the flower shop. Hae-soo's friend whispers excitedly, "Wow, it's the rose guy." Hae-soo asks, "Rose guy?" Her friend explains quietly, "Yeah, that handsome guy who buys roses every day. We don't know his name, so the part-timers call him Rose Guy." Her friend adds, "Sis, should I take his order?" Hae-soo nods, "Sure." Her friend thanks her and hurries to the man. As she passes, she accidentally bumps Hae-soo's shoulder. Hae-soo gives a small smile and thinks, she's still so young. At the counter, her friend asks the man, "Are you here for flowers?" "For your information, this person is about to become our male lead." The rose guy lowers his mask and looks toward the counter. Suddenly, someone yells, "Whose kid is this? Keep an eye on your children." The rose guy's attention shifts to Hae-soo. He calls out, "Miss, I'd like to place an order." Hae-soo, startled, says, "What?" He repeats, "Please take my order." Hae-soo recalls her friend's words about the handsome guy who buys roses daily. She approaches him and thinks, "What nonsense, this isn't some gorgeous man who always buys roses. He seems like a weird guy to me." She says to him, "One rose bouquet, right?" The rose guy nods, "Yes, I'm glad you remember." We see Hae-soo preparing the bouquet, thinking, there are people in this world who are the center of attention, like the protagonist of a novel or a movie hero. And then there are others, like extras in a story, whom no one cares to hear about. She glances at the rose guy and thinks, at first glance, this man is still the same as before, but she stops herself there. Handing him the bouquet, she says, Dear customer, here's the rose bouquet you ordered. Then she reflects, this man suddenly entered my life, a life that was indifferent to everything except work and my husband, and he left a deep impression on me. Her friend watching this is stunned and says, did you see that? I was standing right there, but he ignored me. He wanted you to take his order. For a moment I felt like a ghost. I think he comes here just to see you. Ha-soo, confused, doesn't quite get what her friend means. Her friend continues, he only comes on weekday mornings when you're here. He never talks to me or the boss. Ha-soo replies, what? This is the first time I've noticed him. Her friend is shocked, saying, how could you not notice a guy that handsome? He's been coming here for months. Ha-soo never noticed him because her focus is always on work. She thinks, is that so? If I think about it, I do make a similar bouquet every day. But I don't remember who I give it to. Her friend adds, looking at your schedule, I'm not surprised you don't remember regular customers. But how could you not notice a guy like him? I still remember a handsome guy I saw on the subway 10 years ago. Anyway, I think he's interested in you. Na Hae-soo, walking away, says, stop talking nonsense and get back to work. Her friend insists, it's not nonsense. Didn't you see how he was looking at you? Na Hae-soo replies, what? Are young guys these days taking some kind of medicine to like older women? He looks 10 years younger than me. Her friend laughs, you don't know? It's a trend now for younger guys to date older women. You never know, he might actually be into you because you're so beautiful. Na Hae-soo scoffs, if I'm considered beautiful, then all beautiful people must be dead. Her friend persists, that's not true. Haven't others told you how beautiful you are? Ha-soo remembers another friend saying the same thing. As she arranges flowers, she thinks, I knew it was a kind lie to make a poor woman feel better. That's why it feels a bit strange to hear, though it's kind of funny too. The man at home never loves me, so I'm hearing these things from others. Her friend interrupts, you should try your best. You two could be great together. Na Hae-soo, shocked, says, I have a husband. Her friend, stunned, exclaims, what? Really? Na Hae-soo nods. Yes. Her friend says, wow, I had no idea. You should have told me. So you have a husband? Na Hae-soo thinks to herself, I don't think he wants to stay with me much longer. Her friend asks, what kind of man is your husband? But we don't see the rest of their conversation. The scene shifts to their home, where Ha-soo's husband returns from work. He tosses his bag aside and storms in saying, ugh, what an exhausting day. Get me a glass of water. Don't you have anything warm to drink besides plain water? Ha-soo replies, there's tea inside but it hasn't cooled yet. He says, fine, put some ice in it. I'm going to shower. As he speaks, he carelessly tosses his clothes around and Ha-soo picks them up behind him. After his shower he returns, but Ha-soo has fallen asleep. He lies next to her, touches her, and tries to be intimate. In his mind he thinks, it's like she doesn't even work out, but her body's still decent. A friend was bragging about meeting a younger woman, but her body wasn't as good as Ha-soo's. I'll drop the topic though, because Ha-soo always wears those frumpy auntie-like clothes. He continues touching her, but Ha-soo doesn't respond. Frustrated, he thinks, why doesn't she react when I touch her? He asks, Ha-soo, are you asleep? She murmurs, no. He presses, then why aren't you responding? It's not like you're a wooden doll. A wife should make this fun and want her husband to treat her well. What's with your insensitivity? Exhausted from her long day, Ha-soo says, I'm just really tired. Her husband, offended, snaps, you think you're the only one working? Ha-soo, hurt, says, I have so many part-time jobs. He angrily retorts, forget it, forget it. What was I expecting? This is nonsense. His words deeply wound Ha-soo, who feels he's underestimating her hard work to pay off their debts. The night passes, and we see the next morning. Na Hae-soo's day starts at 6 a.m. The flower shop doesn't open until 8, but she wakes early to make breakfast for her husband Michol. Yes, we finally learn his name, so let's call him Michol from now on. She has to close the door carefully and cook quietly so the noise doesn't wake him. Michol won't eat without soup, and he hates reheated food, so Hae-soo makes fresh soup every morning no matter how simple it is. Ironically, the person who cooks breakfast leaves the house on an empty stomach because she has to get to work on time. At the flower shop, Hae-soo greets everyone with a good morning and prepares to open the shop. She puts on her apron and thinks, I'll hold off my hunger until lunchtime. As the shop opens, a customer walks in. Hae-soo asks, Are you here for flowers? The man says yes. She looks up and realizes it's the rose guy. Surprised but composed, she asks, One rose bouquet, right? He nods. Yes, that's correct. She confirms, About 10 roses? He says, yes. Hae-soo thinks to herself, not only is his face handsome, but his voice is amazing too, a slow, low voice that just says yes, and somehow tickles my ears. After the payment is complete, Hae-soo hands him the receipt and says, We have some pending orders, so it'll take a bit. Please wait over there. Suddenly her stomach growls loudly, so loudly that the rose guy hears it. He stands there quietly, takes the receipt and sits down without a word. Hae-soo thinks, that was a bit embarrassing. Just then, her friend arrives with some boxes and notices the rose guy. She whispers, Is that the rose guy? Who's he talking to? Does he know that person? As the rose guy sips his coffee and walks in, Hae-soo's friend starts gushing. Even the way he walks is like a model. How tall is he? We don't even know anything about his father. She keeps repeating, so handsome, so handsome, so handsome. Hae-soo calls out, Dear customer, here's the rose bouquet you ordered. The rose guy takes it and leaves quietly. When Hae-soo turns around, she notices a sandwich on her desk. Realizing he left it, she rushes out to return it. We see the rose guy walking down the street, sipping his coffee. When Hae-soo calls, Dear customer, he turns to see her holding the sandwich. She says, You forgot your sandwich. He looks at her and says, It's a gift. Please take it. As he starts to walk away, Hae-soo grabs his jacket and says, I'm sorry, but I can't accept this. He asks, Why? Is it because you don't have anything to drink with it? Handing her the coffee he was drinking, he says, Here, I only took one sip. It's not poisoned. Hae-soo is shocked and touched by his gesture. He adds softly, Please take it. Back at the shop, Hae-soo is still holding the sandwich and coffee, stunned. Her friend notices and says, See, I told you he's interested in you. He left that sandwich for you on purpose. Wow, he even gave you his coffee. She adds, If that's not interest, what is? Hae-soo, still confused, thinks what just happened. Staring at her reflection in a mirror, she says, Do I really look that pitiful? When I saw myself, I saw a tired woman without makeup, with blemishes all over her skin. His action felt like pity, not interest. She continues, If I were him, I'd find it hard to even walk. But is this really a sign he likes me? If so, I need to draw a line between us quickly. While I'm thinking about this, I'm imagining things that might never happen. Maybe my work just got a little easier. Her friend interrupts. So what are you going to do? Hae-soo asks. About what? Her friend says, You said you have a boyfriend. Are you going to reject Rose Guy, or are you going to tell your boyfriend about him? Hae-soo, looking sad, says, He's not my boyfriend, he's my husband. Her friend, shocked, says, Oh, when you said you had a guy, you meant a husband, not a boyfriend? I'm so sorry, I didn't know you were married. Hae-soo grows quiet, her heart heavy. We learn that Nicole had told her, Don't make it so obvious. We separated before our first loan was even paid off. I told you to only call me your husband at home. Why do you have to tell everyone at work we're married? It's not like there's anything wrong with living together after a divorce. It's such a hassle. Here's the truth. Nicole and Hae-soo divorced long ago because Nicole took out massive loans in her name. After racking up the debt, he manipulated her into agreeing to the divorce, leaving all the debt on her shoulders. Even after the divorce, they continued living together, with Nicole promising they'd remarry once the debts were cleared. He insists she call him her husband at home, not out of love or a desire to remarry, but to keep manipulating her, ensuring he can still take what he needs from her. Nicole acts as if nothing's wrong, while Hae-soo works 3 or 4 jobs, cooks for him, washes his clothes and pays the rent for their shared home. Back in the present, Hae-soo says, "Yes, he's my husband. Let's stop talking about this." Her friend replies, "Okay, I'm sorry." The scene shifts to Mikol's office where he's working. A woman approaches and hands him a coffee, saying, "Have some coffee while you work." Mikol glances at it and sees a note that reads, "Let's do our best today." And with that, I'll end this part here, dear readers, leaving you with a heart full of anticipation for what comes next in this tender, bittersweet tale. In the last episode of this swoon-worthy manhwa, we saw Mikol hard at work in his office when a girl approached him with a cup of coffee. As he glanced at the cup, he noticed a sweet little note scrawled on it. "Let's give our best today." Oh, Mikol's no fool. He caught the hint right away. This girl was making her move bold as brass. He looked at her, flashed a playful grin, and thought, well, look at this girl making her grand entrance. Meanwhile, she just hummed a tune under her breath, sashaying away like she was starring in her own rom-com. The scene shifts outside Michel's office, where a gaggle of coworkers are gossiping up a storm. One of them sighs dreamily. "Eri is so gorgeous, isn't she?" Yep, you guessed it. The Eri they're swooning over is the very same coffee cup girl who just flirted with Michel. Another guy chimes in. "She said she's 25. Michel's manager, clearly enjoying the tea, exclaims, "Wow, what a perfect age." The others nod like they're judging a fine wine, adding, "Yeah, women in their 20s are just chef's kiss, that smooth skin, that glow." Michel, ever the charmer, laughs and says, "Smooth skin? Man, you old-timers have a way with words." In his head, Michel's replaying that coffee moment, thinking, hold up, she's got some serious charm. Being young is the best, isn't it? His manager, sensing a juicy opportunity, leans in and says to the group, "You know, I think Eri's got her eye on our new guy Michel. When she looks at him, her eyes are practically glued." Then, turning to Michel, he adds, "We tried setting her up with other guys, but she shot them all down, saying she wasn't interested." Another coworker pipes up, "Well, you're a good-looking guy, Michel." The first coworker nods sagely. "You're 33, right? Perfect age to start dating. And you're single, aren't you?" Cut to Eri and her friend walking away, overhearing this chatter. Her friend bursts out laughing, and Eri hisses, "Hey, stop laughing." Back to Michel, who's now smirking to himself, muttering, "Yeah, all right, I'm single." His coworker eggs him on. "So what's the holdup? Give it a shot. Isn't Eri just stunning?" Michel hesitates, thinking, should I actually go for it? Oh, the drama's brewing, folks. The scene swoops us back to Michel's house, where he's sprawled out, lazily watching TV like he's auditioning for Couch Potato of the Year. Meanwhile, Hae-soof's quietly folding clothes in the background, probably wondering if she signed up to be his maid or his wife. To break the silence, because you know, romance thrives on awkward small talk, Hae-soo asks, "How was your day at work?" Michel, ever the ray of sunshine, snaps, "Took you long enough to ask. Are you finally worried about your husband's hard work?" "Every job's tough, Hae-soo. What's the point of asking? I'm trying to relax here and you're bugging me." Hae-soo, bless her patient heart, tries to explain, "I'm not trying to bother you." Then, in a softer tone, she adds, "If you get your salary soon, we can pay off our debts faster and maybe remarry." Michel rolls his eyes. "You keep going on about remarrying. Don't you get it? We'll do it after we clear the debts. And anyway, Hae-soo, you couldn't survive without me, right? So don't push yourself too hard." He flashes a sly grin, and here's where he pulls his classic manipulation move. Leaning closer, he says, "I need some cash for expenses." Hae-soo blinks. "Expenses?" Michel, acting like he's in a cologne ad, says, "Yeah, I want to buy some cologne." Hae-soo, confused, replies, "But you don't usually wear cologne." Michel shrugs. "Well, now that I'm working, I see all these sharply dressed folks, even the old guys wear it." Hae-soo, ever the supportive one, sighs and asks, "How much do you need for it?" Michel casually drops, "About 200,000 won. For cologne? That's like buying a bottle of liquid gold." She stammers, "Why is it so expensive?" Michel, puffing up like he's a fashion critic, says, "At my age, I need at least a department store brand. I'm not buying that cheap stuff kids use." When Hae-soo hesitates, Michel switches to his puppy dog act. then quickly pivots to, fine, forget it. If you don't want to give me the money, don't. Oh, Nicole, you smooth operator, you. The night passes, and we're greeted with a morning scene where Hae-soo's hunched over, crunching numbers for the month's expenses. Nicole's new job has led to a spending spree. New suit, new shoes, you name it. She mutters to herself, we've spent so much. It's true, starting a new job means extra expenses, but no matter how much we save, we're still in the red. Determined, Hae-soo thinks, I might need to work even harder. I work afternoons to evenings at the motel, and if I take a night shift at a convenience store, it shouldn't be too overwhelming. I just need to give up sleep. Who needs that, right? With a wry smile, she tucks an envelope in her pocket, thinking, Nicole said the cologne was about 200,000 won. She leaves some cash on the table with a note that reads, buy the cologne. Because of this month's overspending, Hae-soo's decided to pick up a night shift at a convenience store. She muses, I've got 24 hours in a day. Like a puzzle to solve, I break my day into pieces and fill the gaps with work. All this effort is for our happy family, for our joy, and with that, she heads out to tackle her endless list of jobs. Now, enter our dashing Rose guy. Oh wait, we finally learn his name. It's Bayun Tae-ha, but should we keep calling him Rose guy or switch to Tae-ha? You tell me in the comments, dear readers. Anyway, Tae-ha's chilling with his friend, who's teasing him. Why'd you suggest dinner together, Rose guy? Miracles never cease, huh? His friend continues, you actually offered to buy dinner? You who hates noisy places. Well, grabbing attention's nice. Who should I call? Tae-ha, cool as a cucumber, says, call whoever you want. His friend grins. If you say you're hosting dinner, a truckload of girls will come running. He starts making calls, thinking even this guy who wouldn't be caught dead in a cheap restaurant is in a rush today, and lately you seem happier. The call goes through, and they head to a restaurant to meet their friends. Cut to the restaurant, where Hae-soo's serving beers to a rowdy group of guys whining about their wives. One of them says, if a wife's sensible, she'll earn money and sacrifice for her family. Their words hit Hae-soo like a ton of bricks, stirring memories of her own life. She thinks, they love excitement and fun, but does that mean they don't love their wives enough? Is it fair to say we've grown indifferent? There was a time when Nicole and I were so in love. Were you always like this? Wasn't I sensible enough? Was my love not enough? Did I ruin our relationship? Lost in thought, she's jolted back when her boss calls. Miss Hae-soo, some new customers are here. Take care of them. She heads to the entrance and asks, how many in your group? Then she freezes, because it's Rose guy, or Tae-ha, you decide, and his friends here for dinner. One of the girls in the group says, thanks for inviting me to dinner. Hae-soo stands there, quiet as a mouse, until someone says, a table for 4. She doesn't hear, still dazed, just standing there like she's in a trance. The girl steps forward and repeats, we're a group of 4, we need a table. Then, with a sheepish smile, she adds, oh, sorry, come in and sit. Hae-soo shows them to their table and dives back into her work. As she works, Hae-soo's mind drifts to that day Rose guy gave her a sandwich. Her friend's words echo, he likes you, he's clearly interested. Buying a bouquet from you every day, he's just trying to impress you. Hae-soo thinks, I'm not interested in him, and I've never even thought about it. More than that, I never wanted this kind of attention, but hearing my friend talk about it was kind of embarrassing, and for some reason it's hard to look at him. We see Tae-soo and his friends enjoying their meal, but Tae-soo's not eating. The girl asks, aren't you going to eat? He replies, nah, I'm full. As they chat, Hae-soo's cleaning a nearby table, thinking, is that girl his girlfriend? They look so good together. The bouquet must be for her. Working with young people, I never know what they're talking about. She scolds herself. Get it together, Hae-soo. Meanwhile, Tae-ha's quietly watching her. One of his friends, a girl named Hae-ji, notices and says, hey, what are you staring at? You've been looking that way forever. Before Tae-ha can respond, another friend, Dong-wook, jumps in. Oh, come on, Hae-ji, you know it's just a habit. Tae-ha's got a tiny crush on you, that's why he hangs out with you. Nothing more. Whether he's looking around or tilting his head, just focus on your food. Why are you staring at his face? Hae-ji starts throwing playful insults, and Dong-wook retorts, "Wow, Hae-ji, you're really scaring people." Another friend tries to calm her, saying, "Chill, why are you acting like this?" Dong-wook grins, "What did I say wrong?" Tae-ha signals him to hush with a subtle kick under the table and says, "Dong-wook, your meat's burning." Dong-wook tells Hae-ji, "All right, I get it, just eat." Hae-ji turns to Tae-ha, exasperated, "What nonsense? Are you serious?" Then she leans in and asks, "Why are you staring at that lady? Do you know her?" Tae-ha replies casually, "Isn't it obvious?" "You're right, we know each other." Hae-ji, stunned, thinks, "What is this nonsense? I mean, it felt like..." She trails off, wondering, "But do you actually know her?" The scene shifts to Taeha's house, where bouquets of flowers are scattered everywhere. Yep, you guessed it, the flower shop girl was right about him. Next, we're back at Hae-soo's house where she's folding clothes. She notices one of Makiza's shirts is torn and thinks, he's going to be upset, I haven't had this long, so it's a shame to throw it out. She hesitates. Should I sew it? Makiza wakes up groggy and snaps, "What are you doing instead of resting?" Hae-soo replies, "I'm sewing." He grumbles, "Why are you sewing?" Standing up, he snatches the shirt from her hands, inspects it and says coldly, "Are you seriously asking me to buy you new clothes right now? If that's the case, forget it." Hae-soo defends herself. "Why would I throw it out? It's still wearable." Mikkel scoffs, "Hae-soo, guys don't like kind girls like you. I don't like worn-out underwear, and I hate torn underwear even more. It makes me feel like an old man." Hae-soo sits quietly, her mind drifting to the first time she saw Rose Guy. She thinks, "This actually reminds me of you. I don't know what we talked about, but it was all a misunderstanding. Why do these embarrassing memories keep coming back, no matter how hard I try to forget?" She takes the shirt back from Mikkel, who says, "Everything I say always ends in disappointment." Then, in a classic Mikkel move, he pulls her into a hug and says, "Anyway, Hasuf, you've got no charm, no spark. You don't know anything about men, and yet I'm still here with you. I'm the lonely one, aren't I?" And just like that, Hasuf falls for his nonsense, hook, line, and sinker. This is how Mikkel keeps her wrapped around his finger. He murmurs, "The chilly air slips through the walls of our basement apartment, seeping into our skin. I might hate living like this, but because of you I can bear it." "Oh, Mikkel, you're laying it on thick." The night passes, and we're greeted with a morning scene where Hasu's in the kitchen, whipping up breakfast. A weather report plays in the background, warning, "There's a chance of rain this afternoon, possibly lasting until late tonight." Hasu thinks, "If it's going to rain by evening, I should bring an umbrella, right?" She checks and finds 2 umbrellas. Examining them, she muses, "Which one's better? This one looks fine." Picking up the second, she says, "This one still works. It's not completely broken, so I'll use it a bit longer before tossing it. I'll let Mitchell use the other one." The scene shifts to Mikkel's office, where someone asks, "Miss Eri, where are you off to?" Eri replies, "I'm grabbing some coffee." Okay, Eri sounds a bit weird, so from now on, I'm sticking with Eri, all right? We see Eri head to the coffee room, but Mikkel's already there, brewing a cup. She sidles up next to him, rummaging for a new coffee packet. Suddenly she yelps, startled, and clings to Mikkel's arm. He asks, "What's wrong?" Eri, trembling, points, "There's a bug over there." Mikkel chuckles, "I thought I did something wrong. Are you scared of bugs?" Eri admits, "I'm terrified of bugs, and you're focusing on some writer who isn't even here." Michelle grins. "That's cute. Want me to catch it for you?" "Where is it?" "Oh, it's gone now. Job's done." Eri pouts, "That's weird. I'm sure it was right there." As they search for the elusive bug, Michelle thinks, "Haso's never scared of bugs, so seeing someone act like this is so refreshing." Back at the flower shop, Hae-soo's friend says, "He's super late today." Hae-soo asks, "Who?" Her friend replies, "Who else? Rose Guy." She slumps, looking like she's just lost her favorite rom-com marathon, and says, "In the middle of this grueling job, seeing his handsome face at least once a day is like a warm hug for my soul." Right on cue, as if summoned by her longing, Rose Guy, our dashing Taiha, strolls into the flower shop, granting her wish like some fairy tale prince. Hae-soo in her head chuckles, "Speak of the devil," and the devil appears, but meeting him feels a tad awkward, so she makes a quick escape, muttering, "I need to check on the flowers in the back. I'll be right back, take his order." Her friend, flabbergasted, calls after her, "Sorry, what? Where are you running off to all of a sudden?" But Hae-soo's already vanished. We see Taiha step inside, scanning the shop for Hae-soo, but she's pulled a Houdini. He ends up at the counter where Hae-soo's friend is waiting. She grins and says, "Looking for something special?" Then with a teasing giggle, she adds, "The usual rose bouquet you buy every day, right?" Taiha, still glancing around like a lost puppy looking for Hae-soo, nods absently. "Yeah, please, I'll take it." Hae-soo's friend, inwardly sobbing, thinks, "I didn't even get a chance to bask in your gaze." As the workday ends, the rain predicted by the weather forecast pours down in buckets. Hae-soo's friend waves her off, saying, "Get home safely, Hae-soo." Hae-soo replies, "You too." In her mind she muses, "By some stroke of luck, I didn't run into him today, but I can't keep dodging him forever like I did today. Let's not do this again starting tomorrow." She remembers the forecast about rain and thinks, "They said it'd rain, and wow, it's really coming down. I hope Mitchell remembered to take his umbrella." She opens her own umbrella, only to find the top half completely missing. Confused, she mutters, "It looked fine this morning, but now it's totally busted. The convenience store isn't that far, but it's not close enough to walk in this downpour. The forecast said it'll rain till late, so I can't just wait it out. Poverty really sneaks up and swallows you whole, doesn't it?" Holding her sad, broken umbrella, Hae-soo sighs, "If I hadn't put off buying a new one, I wouldn't be in this mess. What do I do now? If I call Mitchell, he'll probably get mad. He's been so tired lately, probably struggling to adjust to his new job. I'll wait a bit longer." Suddenly, someone holds an umbrella over her head. She looks up and gasps. It's Tae, standing there like a knight in shining armor, or at least a guy with a functioning umbrella. He asks bluntly, "Where do you live?" Hae-soo, flustered, stammers, "Oh, I'll be fine. My house is a bit far, so you can go ahead." Taiha raises the umbrella higher, steps closer, and says softly, "It's supposed to rain until tomorrow morning. Why don't we share this umbrella?" Hae-soo looks at him, thinking, "It feels like the sky's mocking me for my mistakes, making it impossible to avoid this guy in this situation." But in the end, she nods. "Okay," and the two start walking under the same umbrella, heading toward her home. As they walk, Hae-soo thinks, "This isn't how I imagined going home. This guy hasn't said a single word." She silently thanks the rain. "Thank you, loud rain, for making it less awkward to stand under a stranger's umbrella. It wasn't as weird as I thought." Taiha matches her pace, walking slower than a tall guy like him usually would. Hae-soo notices and thinks, "McColl's tall too, but whenever we walked together, I was always left trailing behind." Her mind drifts to the restaurant scene, and she blurts out, "Your girlfriend wouldn't like this, would she? What if she finds out you're sharing an umbrella with a stranger?" Taiha raises an eyebrow. "Who told you I have a girlfriend?" Hae-soo, surprised, says, "What? You don't?" Then she adds, "I mean the girl I saw you with at the restaurant." Taiha smiles, "She's not my girlfriend, just a friend." Hae-soo avoids his gaze, thinking, "So that's how it is." Taiha steps closer and says earnestly, "It's true, please believe me." Hae-soo replies, "Yeah, I believe you," but in her head, she's like, "Why do those words sound so weird after I responded like that? Do I actually believe him?" Suddenly, Taiha notices a car speeding toward them. Quick as a flash, he pulls Hae-soo close to shield her as the car splashes water and zooms past. Hae-soo, shaken, thinks, "That was terrifying. What kind of driving was that?" Taiha apologizes, "Sorry, the car came so fast. I was worried you'd get hurt." Hae-soo, still rattled, says, "No, it's fine." In her mind, she's screaming, "And you guys, did you see how close we're standing right now?" She feels something stir, and Taiha says with a grin, "I'm pretty big, huh?" Hae-soo blinks. "What?" He clarifies, "I mean my height. I'm tall, right? I covered you completely and saved you from getting soaked. Hae-soo nods. Oh yeah, you're right. But her thoughts spiral. No matter how much I think about it, this can't be real. It's just my imagination. There's no way a stranger would do something like this for anyone. Now that I look, the other side of his coat is completely drenched, while I'm barely wet. Should I ask if he's interested in me? If he is, I need to draw a line between us right now. She musters her courage and asks, "Why are you being so kind to me?" Taha replies, "You caught me. I have my reasons. I just want to get to know you." Hasuf shuts it down firmly. "There's no need for that." Taha, curious, asks, "Why not?" She retorts, "You're young and you seem like the type who's super popular with girls. Why would you want to date an older woman?" Taha, unfazed, counters, "If I'm young and popular with girls, why can't I date an older woman?" Hasuf, flustered, snaps, "Sure you can, so stop it." Then she says, "We're here. This is my place. Thanks for today." Toyoro asks, "So, are we still strangers?" Hae-soo nods. "Yeah, let's stay strangers." He replies, "All right, I heard you loud and clear." Then he quietly walks away, leaving Hae-soo staring after him. She thinks, "I thought he'd be more stubborn, but he changed his mind faster than I expected. How could someone like me spark your interest? Maybe it's just because you're young. Sometimes it's just curiosity." Inside her apartment, Hae-soo spots the umbrella she left for Michol. She mutters, did Michol forget his umbrella? Her mind drifts back to the restaurant, where those men said, when it comes to men, everything depends on the woman. If she's beautiful and sensible, men have to earn money and sacrifice for the family. Hae-soo thinks, I need to pick Michol up from the company. Maybe that'll make him happy. She grabs the umbrella and heads to Michol's company. Standing outside, she tries calling him. The phone rings once, then connects, but Michol switches it off. A message chimes. The person you're calling has their phone switched off. Hae-soo assumes his battery died, thinking, our paths have diverged. You didn't even see my message about picking you up because your phone's dead. I shouldn't have come without talking to you first. I'm heading home. Just as she turns to leave, she sees Michol walking out with Eri. Hae-soo's stunned, and Michol, spotting her, looks equally shocked. Eri notices Hae-soo staring and asks Michol, what's up with that person? Why is she staring at us? Eri then says to Hae-soo, hey, what's going on here? Michol, panicking, stammers, Eri, she's just family. Just family. Hae-soo keeps staring, and Eri says, oh, sorry, I didn't know you were Michol's family. Michol adds awkwardly, like a family friend. Eri laughs, a close family member then. Michol approaches Hae-soo and says, all right, Eri, I'm heading out, I'll use this umbrella. Bye. Eri waves, okay, see you tomorrow, Michol. Once Eri's gone, Michol turns to Hae-soo, annoyed, why'd you come to pick me up without asking? Doing nice things isn't like you, so why now? Hae-soo's gaze lingers in the direction Eri went. Michol snaps, what are you doing? Aren't we going home? Hae-soo asks, who was that? Michol replies, what? She repeats, the person who was just here. Who is she? Michol says, you mean Eri? She's just someone I know. We work at the same company. Grabbing the umbrella, he adds irritably, what's with that look? We're just co-workers. Do you think everything between a man and a woman is about attraction? Hae-soo shakes her head. No, it's not that. Michol cuts her off. Calm down, Hae-soo. Just calm down. I don't know if it's because you don't have friends or people to talk to, but don't embarrass me like this. Soaked from the rain, Hae-soo thinks. Looking back, I let that moment slip away like it was nothing. The next day, at the flower shop, Hae-soo and her friend are exhausted. Her friend groans. I'm so tired. It's not even peak season, so why all these group orders? Shouldn't we get extra pay for this? Whining dramatically, she adds, my body feels like it's going to snap. Hae-soo, chuckling, says, if you're that tired, take a break, I'll handle the rest. Her friend gasps, thank you, Hae-soo. I'm praying no more customers show up until we close, except Rose Guy. Seeing him gives me strength. Right then, a customer walks in. Hae-soo, startled, mutters, Just when I was about to rest, a customer shows up. And who is it? None other than Tae-hee himself. Her friend thinks, "This is insane. I was just thinking about him, and here he is, looking as handsome as ever." As Ha-soo works, Tae-hee approaches the counter. Her friend whispers, "I'm out. At least talk to Ha-soo this time, okay? I'm gonna rest a bit longer." Ha-soo asks, "What would you like to order?" Tae-ha ignores her so blatantly, it's like she's invisible, leaving Ha-soo stunned. Well, that's what happens when you tell someone to stay strangers, she thinks. 2 weeks later, Ha-soo's at the flower shop, working as usual. She reflects, Michel's been coming home late lately, even on shorter days, because he's so busy. Otherwise, everything's just like any other day. She recalls that rainy day when she told Tae-ha to stay strangers, thinking, after that day he left my life as quickly as he entered it. She remembers Tae-ha saying, "I'll listen to you." We see her friend handing Tae-ha his flowers while Ha-soo sits to the side, arranging bouquets. She thinks, with those words, he was so obedient, that guy completely distanced himself from me. It feels like his interest was just curiosity, easily brushed off. She texts Nicole, "Will you be home late again today?" and thinks, I thought it was lucky it wasn't anything deeper. Deep feelings leave scars that can't be erased. At the restaurant, Ha-soo muses, "I fell asleep last night without seeing Mitchell come home, and I haven't heard from him yet. I hope he's doing okay at work." Suddenly, a loud chubby man calls out, "Bring 4 plates of pork belly to every table." Ha-soo spins around, "Yes sir, I'll bring it right over." She serves the meat, and the group starts cooking, chatting away. One guy asks the chubby man, "So, how's it feel coming here? Feeling good after your divorce?" The chubby man, "Oh, by the way, he's their boss, just so you know who's who," grins, "Yeah, I'm thrilled I don't have to hear that annoying woman's nagging anymore." He puts his arm around a female employee's shoulder and says, "It doesn't feel weird sitting with a young lady like this at a company dinner, does it?" He laughs heartily, and she laughs too. But inside, she's probably cursing him out. "Don't worry, I'm keeping it PG." As they enjoy their meal, another guy says, "The company's growing fast, so you can enjoy your second youth." The chubby boss nods. "Exactly. It's not good for a man to stay single too long." He glances at Ha-soo and adds, "Wouldn't it be great to start a new life with a woman who's got a great figure and looks naturally beautiful without makeup?" Sipping his drink, he stares at Ha-soo, thinking, "I've been watching her at this restaurant during our company dinners. She seems like a hard-working woman who doesn't know luxury. There's only a 10-year gap between us, and since I'm a regular here, she knows I'm a boss. She'd probably jump at the chance to join me if a guy like me asked." Seriously, that's what he thought. I'm not making this up. He leans forward and says, "Pour me some more drink," hoping Ha-soo will do it. His employee offers, "Sure, boss, I'll pour it," but the boss waves him off. No, I want her to pour it." Ha-soo, confused, looks at him. Another employee chimes in, "Boss, you know this is still a regular restaurant." The boss laughs, "Maybe I'm a bit tipsy," but he ignores them, barking, "Hurry up, do it. Don't you want to?" Then loudly he yells, "Do you even know who I am?" His voice is so loud it reaches the restaurant owner, who rushes out asking, "What's going on?" A co-worker of Ha-soo's runs to the owner, "Boss, come quick. Some jerk's yelling at Ha-soo." The chubby man, still shouting, says, "You know I'm the future president of Selling Touch Everyday Store." Okay, he's not president yet, but he's got big dreams. He continues berating Ha-soo, "You're just an employee here, and you dare talk back to me? I admire your spirit." The restaurant owner steps in. "Dear customer, what's happening?" The man snaps, "Oh, you're here. You're the owner, right? Do you know how many times I've come here and helped your business, and your employee treats me like this?" The owner apologizes. "I'm so sorry, it's my fault. I apologize on behalf of my employee. I'll bring you extra meat as a service." But the man demands Ha-soo kneel and apologize. Ha-soo stands there, shocked, not expecting things to escalate like this. He glares at her, thinking, "You're an employee here and have the guts to defy me." The owner says, "Boss, No matter how upset you are, you can't treat our employee like this. The man retorts, oh, she can't? Fine, my company won't do business with this restaurant anymore. Think it's okay to act like this when the meat shop next door is an option? I know plenty of business owners in this alley. I'll spread the word and make sure no one comes here. Hearing this, Hae-soo drops to her knees and says, I'm so sorry. The crowd chants, Hae-soo, Hae-soo, but she ignores them, repeating, I was wrong, please forgive me. Her boss tries to lift her, saying, Miss Hae-soo, you don't need to do this. Hae-soo insists, no, it's my fault, the customer's upset. I apologize again. Please come back to our restaurant in the future. Later, as the restaurant closes, everyone's gone. Hae-soo's boss says, why did you do that? I heard what happened. That guy was awful. You didn't need to go that far. Hae-soo replies, no, company dinners are rare these days. This area has lots of companies with tons of employees. Losing those customers would be a huge loss for the business. I know how much you've looked out for me, boss, so I can't cause trouble. Her boss sighs. It's a tough world, isn't it? There are bad people and understanding ones too. Hae-soo smiles. I'll be fine. She reflects. I've been working all sorts of jobs since childhood. I've endured so much. There were nights I couldn't sleep from sadness, and the day I got hurt has become a scar I'm used to. And with that, dear readers, I'm wrapping up this roller coaster of a part right here. If this tugged at your heartstrings or made you chuckle, smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next part for more swoony dramatic goodness.